of here!
Hmm? Oh God! Oh
no! Bye!
Oh, you son of a...
Main characters of the show. Aaron Yeager. First thing I want to say is he's been through a traumatic experience in the first episode alone, and it kind of shapes who he is throughout the whole anime. And when we get to like episode like 5 or 6 around there, he's kind of bullheaded. He's kind of rushing into things, and it kind of made me not like his character at first. His adopted sister, Mikasa, she's kind of the badass of the show. A lot of people like her. I've seen a lot of people have her face on their shirts and everything. Her character is well written. There's nothing else I can say about that. The third main character, Armin Allert. Now he's kind of the brainy person of the bunch. He's not strong per se, but he's quick to think on his feet.
Okay, so my favorite character in the anime is Captain Levi. And the reason why I think he's my favorite is because, well, number one, he's really strong. Number two, he has no emotions. He just seems really serious, always has that glaring look, like, don't mess with me kind of look. And number three, he's a leader, kind of plays that leadership role in the anime, which I think is really cool.
Mine is Gene. I forgot his name. Gene Kirsten. I think that's his name. He's the one that showed what I've seen from the anime, the most growth. When I say that he was kind of a douchebag in the beginning of the series, and then towards the end, he was kind of the more courageous person. He really stood out to me. It's set in a fantasy world. Mankind is driven to the brink of extinction by mindless, man-eating giants known as Titans. In defense, the humans have built a wall, and there's 3 sets of walls. There's an outer wall, a middle wall, and an inner wall. And those walls have names called Maria, Rose, and Sina. It's gory, it gets dark a little bit, but the only reason why I say it's dark because we have a mutual friend that says he couldn't finish it because it got way too dark for him. I kind of question that because he watches Game of Thrones, but that's another story for another time.
Hopefully he isn't watching this.
What's up if he is? But but anyways, apparently it can get too dark for some people, which I really don't mind. I didn't find it that dark. It was actually really entertaining seeing people die in really creative ways.
And I kind of want to just touch upon that a little bit when we talk about the show being dark. I think, in my opinion, there's 2 different kinds of dark. Number one is just mindless killing, and number 2, there's a mindless killing with the addition of you actually having feelings for those characters. Really, none of the characters in the show really grabbed my emotions enough for me to really care whether they died or not. You know, some of those animes you watch, or even TV in general, when you watch someone that you care for die, you get really disappointed. I just wasn't feeling that in the same way. I mean, am I the only one that feels that way?
I think a couple, maybe 1 or 2 characters in this show really
that was a maybe.
were really like, man, they died.
Yeah, but as far as being sad or feeling any kind of sadness for that character, for lack of a better term, excuse me, it just wasn't there. At least for me, it wasn't. What else do I want to say about the show?
One thing I want to say about the show is I've heard some people say it's overrated. I can see kind of where they're coming from, but that's only because it's popular. It's popular because it's good.
It's really easy to get into. Really easy to get into. It doesn't really require a lot of use of your brain. You could just turn yourself off and watch it and still be entertained. You could still keep up with it. There's really nothing about it. This isn't like Psychopaths where you actually have to think. It's just, I don't want to say it's mindless killing and cool things going on, stuff like that, but at the same time, because of how mainstream it is, I feel like they had to make it that way to become what it is right now, being easily accessible for people to watch it. That's what I want to use for this anime. Easily accessible. I thought it was kind of short, but then again, it's a little too soon for me to say that because
it's only season 1.
Yeah.
Season 2 will hopefully come out next year, maybe 2016 or later, earlier 2017.
I'm intrigued to find out what they're gonna do in the next season. So it at least got my interest enough for me to want to know what's gonna happen. There's a lot of things in there. This isn't a spoiler video, so sorry about that, but character development was pretty good. Yeah, it's an all-around good anime. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Easy to get into, so for those of you who aren't even into anime as much, I would suggest this one just to check it out.
That's if you don't mind blood, gore,
Of
like
course.
people dying every like
Yeah.
5-10 minutes.
You're gonna see a lot of that. You're gonna see a lot of that stuff.
It might be too dark for you.
Maybe. I don't think so, though. I really don't. But there's a lot of different kind of people out there, so.
One thing I want to bring up, how did you feel about the ending?
Oh, the ending.
Because we have another friend that said he didn't like the ending at all. I don't really mind the ending. I mean, it ended kind of abruptly. In my opinion, it didn't really give. Well, it gave kind of a cliffhanger because they want you to like keep coming in season 2. They reeled us in.
Yeah. Yeah. Hook, line, and sinker.
So I guess the ending did its job.
Yeah. It definitely keeps you interested for the next season. That's what they're aiming for. That's what they got. How I felt about the end of it, you know, I kind of have mixed feelings about it. It was anticlimactic. It was kind of predictable. And it left me with a lot of questions, obviously. I just thought it was okay. It wasn't really anything to talk about. Nothing too bad, but at the same time, nothing too extravagant either. But I think we're being a little unfair giving our opinions on that yet because it still got a long way to go.
Final verdict. I think I'll give this a high 8, mid to high 8. It was really good. I recommend everybody else who is interested in action, fantasy, and anything that has kind of a backstory, like in a really expansive backstory like this show has, get into it. 8.5 to 8.9.
Interesting score. I'm gonna give it a 7. Why would you give it a 7, you might ask? Alright, I'm gonna give it a 7 because for what it is right now. If I was just giving it a score for what I've seen from the beginning to the end and assume that there isn't anything coming later, that's where the 7 comes from. I can't talk about the later season, obviously, because it hasn't come out yet, so when it does, I would be able to give it a better score. But as of right now, from what I've seen, that's where it's gonna stay, a 7. It's got a lot of good things going for it, but at the same time, there's a lot of questions that have been left unanswered. I want to know. And if they mess that up somehow in the next season, the score will go down even more.
I would definitely watch it again. As a matter of fact, when season 2 comes out, I'll rewatch the first season and then I'll segue into the second season.
And that's where I'm going to have to agree with him, actually. I would want to watch it again because it is entertaining. It is pretty damn entertaining.
That's the end of the show. Already on episode 3, going on to episode 4. And we hope you like it. Comment below.
Yeah, because we got a lot more anime coming the way.
Yep. If you like the skit in the beginning of the show, check out the extended clip.
We're going to do more skits. So, anyways.
If you have a recommendation, sorry to cut you off, but if you have a recommendation of any animes, let us know.
Any anime. Alright, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. We appreciate it. This is what we're doing it for. Anyways, see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.